Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Chronicle, Cradle of Liberty. This is Prologue 1, Ease the Tension. So let's meet our tense vampires, starting with Avery.
Hi, hello everyone, it's me, Avery, at Avery DuBois on all the social media platforms. I style myself as something of an internet personality. You may have seen me in games such as Berlin Bloodlines, where I play Unser Gnädiger Edgar Waite, and I also play Sense the Sweetwater in our Werewolf 5th edition story of Bane and Blood. But today, I will be playing the Coterie Blunt, Vern Rasmussen.
Rasmussen. Az.
Hello, I'm Azra, as I was on the social media, because I think I'm funny. You can also catch me on Berlin Bloodlines and of Bane and Blood as Adelaide Nagaraja and Timber Shakes the Trees, because I'm a veteran here of the Honeyverse, and today you guys finally get to meet Quinn, the literal shadow dancer. It's fine.
It's fine. It's really good. Syrinx.
Hello, I'm Syrinx. She, her. I've also been on every Honeyverse thing ever, mostly as an NPC. Been loving it. And today I'll be playing Sky Taylor, the emo girl with a lot of issues. Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk more about exactly who Quinn and Sky are in a little bit. And last but certainly not least, Vin, because I just go alphabetical.
Oh my gosh, hi! I'm Vin at VinVoxVA on socials, except Blue Sky, that'll be VinVox.com, and I'll be playing Marius Weiss. Don't worry about it.
And I'm Huddy. Hi, I'm the storyteller. I'm storyteller for many things, but most pertinently, I'm the storyteller for this game this evening. As always, this is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play. We've gone over our safety and consent, but please check in with yourselves as your well-being is important to all of us who are playing. All the content warnings for this game will be down in the description below. So if you all are ready, let's go to Boston. Boston. Once a glittering jewel in the crown of the Camarilla, a witness to revolutions and rebellions, has experienced another kind of purge, one that has left the Kindred population decimated, their power shattered beneath the relentless fist of the Second Inquisition. Even in its desolation, Boston is a city that refuses to die. The Kindred who remain, those who have survived the bloodshed and the betrayals, are hardened, their desperation giving rise to a new kind of cunning, a new grim determination taking root. The survivors know that they must adapt or perish, for the Second Inquisition is not finished, and the enemies of the Camarilla are still out there, waiting for any sign of weakness. The city's Kindred now walk a fine line between survival and extinction, their every move calculated, their every step a risk. The nights are longer, colder, and filled with an ever-present sense of dread. But within this darkness lies the potential for rebirth, for in the ashes of old Boston, a new order could rise. We open our scene tonight with you, Marius, inside of 200 Clarendon, formerly the John Hancock Tower, the seat of power of the Ivory Tower of Boston. Marius, you're surrounded by sleek, soaring ceilings, dark stone floors polished to a mirror-like shine, and walls of clean, brushed metal. You stare out through the floor-to-ceiling windows. The night view is mesmerizing. Snow dusts the streets below, reflecting the glow of streetlights. The waters of the Charles River look frosted and sparkling against Boston's twinkling skyline. The full display of the Camarilla's domain lies in front of you. And yet, there's a part of you that wishes you were on the opposite side of the building, facing the south end of Boston, where the secret garden resides, where your secrets reside, Marius. As is tradition in the Honeyverse, Marius, 3 rouse checks at the top of a Chronicle, please.
Wow, that's 3 failures.
3 failures. Well, Marius, as you stare out towards the Charles River, your hunger spikes, just thinking about the fact that it gets every more precarious, your relationship with Lasher and Junebug on the south end of Boston. The Anarchs, you've heard, have grown angrier, more ready for revenge and vengeance against the Camarilla, and they could be in danger just for association with you. And as you feel your fangs descend in your mouth, the soft echo of footsteps interrupts your moment of silence, and then your moment of hunger. And as you turn to see your sire, the Tremere Primogen Jajan Siaka, he's dressed eccentrically as always. His dark trilby hat almost touches the top of his thickly framed glasses. In one hand, he holds papers of some kind, while he adjusts his bow tie with the other hand. You can tell instantly that he's agitated, a trait he's never seemed to shake from his mortal life. And without greeting you, he shoves the paperwork into your chest and arms, some of it spilling haphazardly to the cold, dark floor. Do you pick them up, Marius, or do you keep your gaze on your maker?
I pick them up.
When you pick them up, what you see is it looks like he printed these off, not from a newspaper, not from like a news site. He printed these off from some sort of social media site. And it's someone that seems to be live tweeting, live posting about a grisly ritualistic murder in the Boston subway. And it's from about 10 minutes ago. And he says, I printed these from some up-to-the-minute local crime chaser on one of those social media sites. You know, the social media site with the stupid name.
Oh, of course. That is terrifying, to say the least.
Terrifying? It's horrendous for business. I can barely get the Hartford Chantry to even return any of my missives. If they get wind of this, if this makes it to the papers, God forbid, because you know they're not on the internet, we're done. Everything that we have attempted to build here in Boston is over. Salem then won't even give us a second glance. They will run us out of the city, and Prince Iverson won't protect us anymore.
I'll consider this taken care of, sir.
I hope so. And it better not make it to any journalists sniffing around. One thing, though. Take the dog. He's somewhere in the bowels of the building.
Of course.
If there's any trouble, just use that clicker of yours and send him off.
All right. I won't waste any time. I'll be off. We'll be off.
You should stop and feed if you're hungry, my child. Those fangs will give you away instantly. You should know better than that.
My apologies.
You can head to the pleasure room that the prince provides in the building, or feed on the street. Do whichever one you think looks best for us.
Of course.
And he doesn't attempt to take any of those papers. He expects you to gather them and throw them away.
And I do. He's stressed. We understand busy bosses, nightlife, and the such. He just doesn't take it personally and go fetches the gangrel.
Perfect. Well, as far as you are aware, he might be a gangrel. He might be a caitiff. You're not entirely sure. You've heard both. You've heard that Vern spends a lot of time with the sheriff, who is a gangrel. So you think maybe he's a gangrel. But then when you've heard the gossip around Elysium, they say that he's just some dirty caitiff that was adopted by a Nosferatu who's dead. It's unclear.
Put too much polish in the name.
Well, it's really is unclear. You could, of course, ask to taste his blood and be sure, but hardly seems worth your time.
Absolutely not.
So you head to the elevator, head down to the bowels. So let's go to the bowels of 200 Clarendon. Vern. That's where you are at the moment. Which, you know, we're inside 200 Clarendon, but of course you still refer to it as the John Hancock Tower. As you were already kindred when construction on it began. It was funded by that Ventru, you remember, Upton Rowlands in the 1960s. When the skyscraper was completed, the Malkavian prince at the time, Quentin King, was incredibly impressed and demanded a statue of Upton be placed at the site, which summarily resulted in Upton's demise as Quentin had him encased in concrete. With the statue looking so grotesque, he ordered it destroyed immediately. But a lot has changed since then. This building is now called 200 Clarendon. Quentin King has gone off to the beckoning. Ventru sits the throne as prince, and your Malwa, and the only kindred you have ever called friend, the Nosferatu Primogen Jara Drory, is ashes now on the Night Wind. So you find yourself, as you so often have these nights since the Second Inquisition attack on Boston, down in the bowels of this building in the server room, once operated by Jara, now taken over by her child Caius Leto, the new Nosferatu primogen. As you exit the elevator to the underground floor and feel the cool rush of air always running here to keep the technology running at peak efficiency, 3 rouse checks, please.
Of course. 2 success, 1 failure.
Not bad. Not terrible. Caius is short with leathery umber skin, the same as Jara's, but where Jara had this sort of bulbous, almost carbuncle-like quality to her nose and neck and her general features, Caius's nose has evaporated from his face. There's only that sort of skeleton behind the dark holes that you can see, and his neck is just as bony. His skin is so papery you could count every single one of the bones that are visible from under his skin if you wanted to, if you felt so inclined. Still, he's dressed in a very fine suit, perhaps in an effort to take his new position seriously, and he's huddled over a keyboard, muttering and sighing to himself in equal measure. You can see on the monitor he's scrolling through camera feeds.
I think Vern just moves up beside him and kind of bumps his shoulder into him.
He lets out a very deep and annoyed sigh. What do you want, Vern?
What are you looking for?
Turns and looks at you really angrily and sort of shoves his hand towards your face. What the fuck do you think I'm looking for, dog?
I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't have asked.
And you look at the monitors again. You recognize the location that he's looking at. They're just multiple monitors sort of posted in, maybe on trees or on poles. They're not anywhere close. They're sort of far away cameras. He's looking at Long Island, not Long Island, New York. I have to clarify Long Island, Boston, as there's one. And you know that this was the black site of the Second Inquisition when they attacked. This was where the child of the Toreador primogen, led the Anarchs to betrayal, where she and another Ventru who didn't make it went and were responsible for destroying the black site. But he doesn't seem to convinced that the hunters are gone. He's looks like he's spent many nights here now.
I get it. Do you need help?
Yeah. Why don't you just skippity hop over onto that island, go sniff out and see if there's any hunters left, fucking idiot.
I would if you asked me to.
Yeah, that would just get you killed and give me absolutely no answers.
Didn't think you cared like that.
I don't. But there ain't enough of us left for me to just be sending you off to fucking ghostly black sites.
Where's your bird?
And he whistles, and inside one of the vents is his macaw.
Hey, buddy.
Squawks at you. Don't mess with my bird.
I like him. He talks sometimes.
He talks when I'm in a good mood, and I'm not in a good mood. Did you know on one of these cameras, and he sort of goes back and stops at a certain point that was from a few days ago, and you see an image of a massive werewolf.
You want me to kill it?
I want you to get the fuck out of my server room, actually. Why are you here? What do you want?
I try not to want anything, Caius. It only leads to disappointment.
Jara's not down here.
I know.
So
Do
why are you here?
'Cause you're here. You got her blood in you.
I'm not your Malwa, Vern. You have to find someone else to latch onto to make the Camarilla treat you somewhat nice. Okay, ain't gonna be me. I don't give a shit. I really don't care about you like that.
I know.
And Delson doesn't care about you like that either. So find somebody else.
All right.
Always the great conversationalist. And Marius, of course, Vern, you also hear the familiar ding of the elevator. You can hear someone else coming down, and Caius just sort of throws his hands up. Oh yeah, everybody come down, party in the server room.
You don't have to be such a dick about it.
Marius, as you turn the corner, this is the scene you come upon, and would you like to describe for us what Vern sees when Marius appears in the doorway?
Someone a little bit stately, average height, hair usually in an updo, tie. For some reason, plastic gloves, fingerprints are a mess. Prim pristine, smiling, and looking at these two with a customer service glance, like, oh my god, fucking kill me. But that's not displayed there. Oh, we won't be long, I promise. I just came to pick up Vern. We have an assignment, if that's all right.
Thank God. Get him the fuck out of my area, my space. Like, get him really far away.
Oh, that'll be no problem.
And Vern, what does Marius see when they look at you?
Vern is the short king of legend, roughly 5 feet 1 inches in height, but he's very broad-shouldered and kind of barrel-chested. Very square-cut jawline that kind of he looks like those military ads from the 50s, the "We Want You" ads. He looks like those square-jawed soldiers marching off to war, with kind of lightly styled short brown hair, blue eyes, and he has that look about him that says that he's present, but his eyes are unfocused and very kind of vacant. There's very little soul left behind them.
Vern, would you really quickly, before you leave with Marius, would you roll me a wits and awareness as Caius heads further deeper into the server room behind these massive blocks that look like they're from the 60s, where you can no longer see him?
5 successes.
With 5 successes, you notice that right next to the computer where Caius was just staring at these camera feeds, you notice that one of the drawers is slightly ajar. Would you open it or not? Now, Marius is here. Whether Marius would feel a certain way about being Tremere Clan Whip, about that, you'll have to find out. You'll have to either do it or not.
I think Vern will actually look to Marius and then look back to the drawer and kind of nod his head towards it.
Well, that's his slight, not mine. I didn't see anything.
And they'll just with one finger kind of open the drawer and take a look.
Inside is something that you're not sure you've ever seen. You're not sure something like this ever existed. Inside is a picture of Jara as she was in her embraced form as a Nosferatu in a frame.
We'll just shut the drawer and walk over to Marius. Where are we going?
It's a surprise.
All right.
He leads the way.
Now the question is, Marius, does Marius lead Vern to sort of the lounge, as Prince Iverson calls it? Dijon calls it the pleasure room because he finds it to be completely frivolous, and he says it for what its real purpose is to just, sort of take your time to enjoy being a kindred, which he doesn't have time for. Do you go there to feed? Or do you head to, as you read in this, which of course you still have one of the papers that were printed off, the Park Street Station, which is about a 15-minute walk away? Or do you head out into the street and go feed?
It depends. Are there blood bags in the lounge?
There are blood bags in the lounge, yes.
Then, yeah, I'll take 4. 3 for me, 1 for Vern, to be polite.
Mm-hmm. Now, Iverson doesn't usually let people go off with that. So as you take the elevator and you head to the 10th floor to this lounge, the bartender, who is one of the servitors of the prince, says, I'm real sorry, but the prince likes it when I put it in a glass and then you can, drink it here. She doesn't really like her supply to just, go off anywhere because she, likes to keep track of everything. She's real good with numbers and everything. Hi, Vern.
Hey.
Well, luckily these are being consumed between the two of us, and if we need a tab, I'll gladly start one. I just don't have time to enjoy the rest of the lounge. I am on a time crunch.
I don't want to get in trouble or anything. I
You
don't
won't
know.
get in trouble.
Do you have any abilities you'd like to use, or would you like to just roll me a charisma and persuasion?
I will roll. Well, I don't have any persuasion. I'll just roll charisma.
Perfect. You can blood surge, risk the hunger if you want to.
Honey, that would be so silly of me to blood surge.
That would be crazy, especially for this little ghoul. I rolled too many successes. For her resolve and composure, I rolled a success on every dice.
That is so silly.
It's really goofy. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'm going to blood buff because it's hilarious. And I rolled 2. I get a little bit hungrier.
Mm-hmm. Remember your blood potency, you get to add 2 extra dice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to roll this silly little roll, which is all blood die. Mm-hmm. Now, Hadifer, I have a question.
Yes, Venifer.
Is it a bestial failure if it's 1 or more dice, or how many successes have to be fucked up for it?
So that's determined by the storyteller of a difficulty of something.
Okay.
At this moment, because this is a contested roll, because you're not using any abilities, if it's 4 with a bestial failure, it is a bestial failure. If it's above 4 with a bestial failure, it is not a failure.
All right, because 3 failures, 1's a bestial, and 1 success.
Well, that would certainly qualify as a bestial failure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So your beast takes over in this moment, and Vern, you can see this happening. You're trying to ignore some of the blood dolls who are coming up to you, who are sort of, showing you, waving wrists in front of you and necks in front of you, wanting you to bite them. And you see Marius lose that composure that you've always known Marius to have, that very customer service persona. And Marius, you reach across the bar. Essentially, it's a sort of middle of the room bar thing. And you reach across the bar and you pull on this young girl's necklace. She's wearing a very thick pearl necklace, and you pull it and you pull her head down onto the bar, slam her head down onto the bar. And with your other hand, you hold it there.
You are really trying my fucking patience. All I asked for was just a drop of blood, and here you are making me lose my composure in front of my friends. That is very awful of you, dear.
I'm real sorry. Please don't hurt me.
You've already wounded my pride, so I think we can go quid pro quo. And I'm just gonna bite her.
Perfect. How much would you like to take?
I'm taking 3.
Perfect. All right. If you wanted to take less than 3, would make, since you're in a bestial failure at the moment and you're really, really hungry, I was going to make you make a roll. But yeah, take 3. Absolutely. Put yourself down to 1 hunger. And Vern, you see this, and you see this girl getting very pale, very sickly looking. You're currently trying to shove off 3 different blood dolls.
Yeah, Vern is bristling at this point, and I think he's just going to physically make space around him by pushing his arms out,
and
then putting a hand on the back of Marius's shoulder. Say, I think it's probably time that we left.
It's fine. Yes, we should. We are wasting time. I am making a mess, and I didn't intend to. Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to be so unpleasant. Can someone possibly find a chair for this poor girl?
Several of those same blood dolls rush over to her as she is slumped down behind the bar. And she's definitely needs someone to give her some juice and some rest.
Vern will just definitely up on their tiptoes, kind of pushing themselves up over the bar so that they can see them behind the bar. Just say, hey, look, if you're willing to just If all of you are just willing to keep your mouths shut about this, I'll owe you all a favor. You good with that?
Oh no, we are not. No. We are not doing favors for something so trivial. I asked for something, I didn't get it, and I took what I wanted anyway. Unfortunately, that's how things go. That is so undoing. We should be off. Vern, please.
As you turn to leave, one of the blood dolls says, April's gonna hear about this.
Okay.
April, you know to be the Toreador Herald.
I'll take it.
All right. You guys have a good night. And he'll tuck his tail and follow Marius.
So, two of you leave 200 Clarendon. It's nighttime. It's wintertime. It's very, very cold. You head down to Boylston Street. You pass Trinity Church on your left as you make your way easy but steady in the snow towards the Boston Common, public park in downtown and the oldest city park in the United States. The central burying ground is a cemetery inside that you can also see as you walk past. Established in 1756, it's the final resting place of many who fought in the Revolutionary War. And if there's any discussion you'd like to have between each other, now is the time to have it.
So, the drawer. Anything interesting?
Yeah. I mean, it's a masquerade breach, but what are you gonna do? He's in charge of security. If anybody knows how to keep it locked down, it's him.
This is exceedingly vague. Not even a hint or an idea.
It's just a picture of Jara.
Oh, I can see where that can be. Sensitive information.
Yeah. So, what's going on? You haven't told me anything, and it's not like I need to know. When somebody comes to get me for something, it means somebody needs killed, so...
Oh, well, luckily they're already dead. A little ritualistic murder. The usual.
So, I'm supposed to be your body man, then?
You are correct.
Great.
Don't be so thrilled.
No, I am super happy about it, actually. We haven't gotten to go out in a while, so just figured I'd be good.
Well, I appreciate it. I think we work very well together. And I think you are the perfect accessory to any of my exploits, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
How's Dajan? Is he alright? I haven't gotten to check in a minute.
He's Dajan. He's as perfectly fretful as normal. That's why I am here.
Vern, why don't you make me a wits in politics? You don't have any specialty in the politics of Boston, right?
I do not. I have a single dot in politics.
Okay. Jara was instrumental in a lot of what goes on, the way it's currently structured. I'm just seeing what you would have picked up. Anything in the chasm between years.
3 dice, 3 successes, though.
Perfect. So yeah, you know that Dajan is not doing well. Jara was working very closely with him. They were trying to establish a Boston chantry here. They were trying to work with the Salem and Hartford chantries, which are the 2 largest chantries in the New England area, to come together to create a Boston chantry that would sort of be the head of all 3, as Boston is a jewel in the Camarilla's crown. With the Second Inquisition attack and Jara's death, Hartford and Salem have basically reneged on any plans that they had to do that. And Dajan's position in Boston, with only one other Tremere, his child Marius, is very, very tenuous. He has a very poor reputation with both Hartford and Salem for reasons that you don't know, and neither does Marius. And you know that there's no way he's possibly doing well.
I don't think Vern really has the courage or the conviction to check Marius on that right now. Let's just say, his plans were important to Jara, which makes your plans important to me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's very appreciated, and I will take note of that.
It's good to see that you got the animal in you too, though. Back there, I get it.
I don't know what came over me, but it happens. Not as much as I'd like. Well, no, that's a poor way to say that. I'm happy to be contained. The end.
Alright. I'm gonna have to keep an eye. I'm gonna have to watch your back for a minute, if you're cool with that. Look, I know you weren't around back then, but if this would have happened when Quentin was in charge, you'd already be being tortured somehow.
Ah, I see.
I just don't want you to get in trouble over something so stupid. Not that what you did was stupid, I mean...
No, I understand. It was a lapse in everything, and...
Not really. It's what we do. Clinton, it doesn't matter what clan you are, all we want is to eat. So, I mean, I get it. They don't. Everybody else just keeps playing like they're something they're not. Like we're not all animals. That's all I'm saying.
I see. And that's quite the philosophy you have there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, ritualistic murders sounds horrible.
It is.
I don't know what help I can offer outside of being your body person, but if you need anything, just click,
Absolutely.
Click, indeed. So, as the two of you head to Park Street Station, as I said, from 200 Clarendon, it is only about a 12 to 15 minute walk, maybe a little bit longer in the snow. But the normally bustling station of the T, which is the transport station, that's how I refer to it in Boston, which is a central hub in the subway, is eerily subdued as you come across yellow crime scene tape blocking access to the Green Line. It's fluttering slightly in the faint drafts that snake through the underground as you head down towards the crime scene. Uniformed officers stand at key points, their presence a visible reminder that this is no ordinary disruption. Nearby clusters of commuters peer from behind barricades, their faces a mix of curiosity and unease. On the platform itself, a group of detectives examines what looks like, from where you can see it, a grisly scene. Evidence markers, bright yellow and numbered, they're scattered across the ground, drawing attention to smeared bloodstains. A forensic team in white Tyvek suits work methodically, dusting for fingerprints and swabbing the area for samples. The atmosphere is very tense down here. And you see this someone, you imagine it must be the lead investigator, a sharp-eyed woman with a long coat draped over her uniform, and she's speaking with intensity into her phone. She says, "We need the profiler here now. This doesn't look random." And this is the scene that the two of you come across. Now, of course, there are barricades, there are police officers, and before you tell me how you're planning on getting closer to the scene to even see if this is something Kindred related, I need Quinn and Sky to tell me where they are in this station. So let's start with Quinn. Where are... Ooh. No, Quinn, don't leave us.
One second, hold on, let's fix this, okay.
Where are you currently in this station?
Quinn follows Sky's lead, but she probably would have stayed off to the side so she can view the full picture of what they've done.
So you'd say you're sort of down the tunnel a little bit, maybe near closer to a utility door where it's still shadowy enough for you to cover yourself? That's where you are. And you feel furry bodies at your feet. As Peaches, you're not sure exactly where Peaches is, and you can't see them right now anyway, but their little minions are nearby, ready to assist you should anything happen. You're just sort of watching the crime scene be investigated with... Don't know, how does it make you feel, Quinn?
Quinn is so excited because they're actually taking time to take pictures of what she's done. She doesn't agree with the angles that they're choosing, but that's on them.
Perfect. Sky, where are you in the subway? Are you amongst the people? Are you also somewhere hidden? Where are you?
I believe I'm also hidden, definitely in the shadows, but I'm less so looking at what we did and like admiring it, and more so thinking I'm interested to see who enters here and who does what, because, well, there's obviously going to be some kind of reaction to this, and that's what Sky is really waiting for, is getting a little hint to get them further where they have to be.
And annoyingly, it's mostly just been kind reaction. It's mostly just been the cattle have come to sort of stare at it and open mouth gape at whatever is going on here. Priscilla is more mingled among the people. She is posing as someone who is unhoused, and she's set herself up with a ratty blanket, and she's sort of just hanging out watching everything. She's keeping her eye on both Quinn and Sky, however. But yes, the two of you enter into the subway. You see people attempting to peek over the barricade, a morbid curiosity perhaps. You see police officers keeping them back, police officers doing the investigation, and you do see, as I mentioned, at least one unhoused person taking shelter here in the subway. So we'll start with Marius. What is Marius's thoughts? What is Marius's plan to get closer to this investigation, closer to this scene, so you can check it out?
They're taking everything in and trying to figure out a way to like blend with the police, possibly pose as a detective or investigator, or maybe even a coroner, giving their looks.
As you heard, both of you did as you came down, you heard someone say that they're waiting for a profiler.
Then I will take advantage of that.
What about you, Vern? What are you doing?
I think Vern just puts his hood up and starts moving around the edge of the scene. People generally tend not to pay him much attention, and he lives in that space.
Perfect. We'll get right to that. Marius, you stroll up to the barricades, and one of the officers puts his hand up, and he says, can't get past the barricade. Sorry, it's police business only. Just please, everyone step back. Take a step back, please.
I'm sorry, I was assigned here. I don't understand why is there a sudden change in protocol. I was called to investigate.
Who are you?
Profiler.
Do you have any identification?
And I would like to produce something. A card.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
What card do you produce?
Fortunately, a business card.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I'm stupid enough, it does have my name on it, but I came unprepared. Papers were shoved into my arms. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, it's almost like your sire's a jerk.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to make a wits, which one? That's enough dice. All failures. And he says, "Okay, well, why don't you talk to Detective Milton? She's the lead investigator on the case."
Understood. Thank you.
He moves the barricade slightly, and you see one person attempts to go past. They have a phone, and they attempt to start taking pictures. Would you like to do anything to sort of prove that you really are here just for the investigation?
Can I take the phone? Just
Yes.
as casual, the swipe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Hey, what the fuck?
This is police business and highly confidential. Thank you.
Starts bitching and complaining, but the officer closes the barricade and he sort of gives you like a nod, like, you get it. To the scene, and you can see it much more clearly now. And if you were hoping that this was something you could just run back to Dijon about and say, hey, this is nothing, this is just some human being an ass, killing people, that fear is confirmed that is not something you can do tonight, as you see a symbol that you should recognize. Let's see how well you recognize it. Let's roll wits and occult.
Okay.
At the very least, you can tell it's occult in nature.
Could I possibly look and match the name who was doing like the Crime Stoppers, whatever updates
Yes,
on this account? Is it the same person?
it is.
Okay, I'm deleting that account.
Perfect.
While I look.
Perfect. I'm making a note of that.
Thank you. I'm going to try to count to 3. Okay.
It's hard. It's harder than it looks.
It is.
Perfect. Crime Stoppers, their social media site is deleted. Their handle's deleted.
I'm going to re-roll.
Go for it.
I think these dice hate me. I have 3 successes.
3 successes, yes. You are a Tremere. You have spent most of your unlife doing research under the tutelage of your sire. You recognize instantly that this is a symbol of the Sword of Cain. Drawn in this man's blood. The rest of him is exsanguinated.
And who else is in, like, is it in a subcar, or where's the body?
The body is inside of the subcar, yes. It is stopped here at the Park Street station. He is leaned up against a seat, and it is drawn on the wall of the subway above the seats.
Okay, so there's no way for me to, like, damage the symbol without being noticed.
Not at the moment, no. But the detective sees you, and she says, "Are you the profiler? Is that why they let you through?"
Yes.
Great. And she sort of orders some of the Tyvek people to move, the crime scene investigators. And she says, "This doesn't seem random. This seems like, I mean, I don't know if we're dealing with one of those things like out of the 80s where we got devil worshipping kids here and they're killing people. I don't know what this is."
Oh, it feels very cold. Like, at the very least, I'm not sure to be concerned yet beyond murder or series. I'm having a lot of thoughts.
What is it that we can do? What can we do to assist you?
Preferably to clear the area so I can study the symbol a bit more. I don't want someone to damage something and I not be able to decipher it.
Clear the area?
Yes.
What about all the people trying to get in?
They can go too. Police tape, isn't that what that's for?
You want to clear the entire station?
If possible. Unless we want another body strung up by the walls and some declaration of this cult religion.
Sarah hands you her business card. I want, at the minute you know something, I want an update. I will be right outside the station.
Thank you. And I will.
Vern, you watch Marius very expertly head right into you. You don't even know how this is possible. You don't even know how someone can do that, can just head into a crowd and pretend like they belong there and be convincing enough to just blend in and start doing things that they have no idea what they're doing. You watch the crowd start to clear out. You watch the police start to clear out, and you sort of attempt to get away so that you don't also get cleared out. But you do notice the unhoused person does not leave. They stay there. And there aren't enough police officers here to really clear it out effectively. And it's quite loud and it takes a little bit of time. So, Marius, as you're looking at the symbol, Quinn and Sky, you see all of this unfolding. I'd like to know what it is that you would like to do. Again, we'll start with Quinn.
So, Quinn has been using shadow perspective to keep an eye on the scene. Hear any words that would set off who they're looking for. So yeah, just kind of the shadows around Quinn stretching out throughout the station, trying to hear anything.
Yes,
that catches.
You definitely heard this person, who claims to be a profiler, convince the police to get everyone out of the station, which seems odd, and the detective thought it was odd. So that's something to give you an indication that something might be wrong. Sky, what are you doing?
While Quinn is listening in, I'll probably keep an eye out more. Honestly, the idea here is wait until something were to pique our interest and show that like other K-Knights are here. And if not, we'll just cause a scene again and then just leave. And like eventually someone will come knocking on our door, right? That's how we do it. So while we're standing there, while Quinn is listening in, I'll be watching the people and trying to just be aware of how people are moving here and trying to either see if something is suspicious there or trying to be like, if, as you said, I don't know this yet, but if they're like gonna get people to move out, I want to be aware of it the second it happens so that we can like step back and remain hidden, right? So that's kind of, yeah.
You are super aware. You can see it physically, people being ushered out. However, of course, you see Priscilla doesn't go anywhere, and she wouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
But you do see that whoever this profiler is got them out and is inside the car looking at your work. And this other person who's wearing a lot of canvas and has a hoodie up is also not leaving.
So they're the only, like all the rest of the police are leaving?
Yes. As the profiler requested that the station be cleared.
Okay, and I'm guessing they're doing as good a job as they can to get like all the humans
All the
out
looky-loos out? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm assuming since both Quinn and I are aware and Priscilla is also sitting there, we will be staying in the shadows a little bit longer until everyone has left. And I'm very curious to see what Quinn will hear once they have.
Perfect. So, Vern, do you head over to Marius, or do you try and get also this unhoused person out? Maybe to protect the Masquerade?
Vern learned from Jara that you can't ever discount the experiences of the unhoused folk. And I think Vern will just move over to them and kind of crouch down beside them, hold out a pack of parliaments. You smoke?
Not for a really long time.
That's not a no.
Got any milk?
No.
Shame.
All right. Did you see what happened here?
Sure did.
You want to talk about it?
With you?
Yeah.
Maybe later. I'm waiting on a sign.
All right. He'll just stuck a cigarette between his lips and head off to Marius.
Marius, what are you doing as you're looking at this really grisly scene? This young man, seems to have had his head completely twisted around, his throat slashed. Blood, you can tell there's not all of it is here, even though some of it is on the floor and obviously been used to paint the walls. He has also been fed upon. These bite marks that are in him are not cleaned.
First, I'm just gonna like lay him against the seat to examine the rest of the space. Luckily, I have gloves on, but they are like kind of waiting for Vern to join their side, trying to give him a modicum of respect, a little bit of humanity, but they're more or less awaiting for him.
So Vern, you show up into the subway car and you see the scene as I have described. It's very grisly.
Assuming I've seen this kind of thing before.
Don't know. How many dots in occult do you have?
1.
All right, roll me wits in occult and we'll find out. If not, Marius is going to have to tell you about the spot.
3 dice, 3 successes.
Yeah, you've definitely have seen the symbol before. There have been small incursions into Boston from the Sabbat. During your time, it was more split factions within the Camarilla, the Gemini League, and the Sons of Liberty. Wasn't a whole lot of Sabbat activity, but you have seen it before.
This is not great.
Well, that's a start.
What are you going to tell Dijon?
What do you mean? I'm going to be as straightforward as possible. What I'm concerned is how recent this is, if our perpetrators are still present.
They are, I think. There's a unhoused person over there, and they said that they saw it, but they wanted to wait for a sign to talk about it.
A sign?
They were all about symbols, obviously.
Okay, well, you just stay right here. I'm going to have a conversation.
I'm not going to get too far away from you until we leave here, if that's all right.
You know, that is actually a great idea. Excuse me. Hello?
As you approach this unhoused person who's sitting there, you hear that she's whistling a tune to a song. It's a Michael Jackson song. It's called Dirty Diana. And as you get a little bit closer, she pulls sort of the hood that she has up down, and she has very dark, very matted hair, like she's never washed it in her life. And she says, I forgot. I'm the sign. Yoo-hoo, ladies!
That's perfect. I think, people are like humming Dirty Diana with her. And we crawl out of the shadows, literally.
Yes, and in addition to, we're going to talk about these two here, in addition to, you see all femme-presenting people appear out of the shadows here in the subway, and one of them is a Nosferatu, who was on top of the subway car the entire time, just obfuscated. And all of them are humming the same song. Now, Quinn, would you like to tell us what Marius and Vern see when you appear from the shadows?
So, when Quinn walks out of the shadows, you see she's in this sparkly crop top with this kind of matted jacket because it's soaked in blood. Like, you can see she's drenched from her shiny crop top to her mini skirt and these ridiculous shoes that no one should try and wear, with her red hair pulled up into buns, as she's got symbols painted all over her in blood. Looks like it's been done with a fine tip marker.
What do they see when they see you, Sky?
A girl who really seems like only like 16 or something, like very, very fucking young, all dressed in very like dirty, shredded black clothes, a big black trench coat as well, with all kinds of like obviously the emo makeup on her face, some blood splatters on her like chin and her neck as well, also space buns, of course. And yeah, she walks forward as well.
Can they see your brand?
Maybe when they get closer, it's like peeking out.
Mm-hmm. And for your edification, the Nosferatu on top of the car is wearing just a pair of jeans and a tank top. Way too cold, but Kindred, way too cold for this time of year. And they are completely hairless. They have pointed ears, and they have two rats on top of their head to sort of emulate the space buns of their packmates.
Well then, I am so happy to be outnumbered by you lovely ladies.
Hiya. So, do you like our work?
It's not my kind of art, but it is breathtaking. Killer.
I see what you did there. That is very funny.
I try.
So what is your kind of art then?
I'm not really an art person, unless you mean the art of numbers.
Priscilla laughs uproariously when you say you're not an art person. But you're around art all the time. You think you'd pick up a thing or two.
How you would think.
So is it a skill issue or?
Just never had the time.
I don't understand them in their tower. They stay behind those walls and they still do fucking nothing.
Well, let's get this out of the way, you know? Do you like to sit in your tower, or are you more like a streets person?
I'll
I
call him
haven't seen you on the
AKB.
streets, so...
I'm just that good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you mind? And I like lean in a little bit and I sniff you, and you smell clean as fuck, I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course.
As soon as Sky leans in, Vern is going to shove them back.
No. Vern, that is very impolite.
Yeah, the shadows start to kind of
The
encroach
subway,
once that happens.
all of you, as soon as Vern puts hands on Sky, you hear a most horrific raucous coming from deeper into the subway tunnels. The sound of hundreds of rats heading your way.
Forgive my friend. He's here to protect me.
You're the puppy! I thought you'd be bigger.
Well, you have terriers, you have sporting dogs. Everyone has different breeds for different functionalities. But I feel like we are losing the conversation. I want to know why you're here.
Well, to wait for you, obviously. Silly.
You kept us waiting.
I'm sorry. Tower business and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Sure, tower business and all of that. No, you're fine. We were got away for a while, and you know, if you hadn't shown up, if no one else had shown up, we probably would have moved, like called you another way. You know, it's not like you have a phone number, so it had to be a little creative, right?
Yes, yes.
Anyway. So now that we've established that you smell way too fresh to be from the streets, and I don't, whatever, this is your dog, then I don't care about that. Great! Oh, it's so lovely to meet another Camarilla kindred. It's been a while.
Another.
Yes,
Well,
and I'm
forgive
so
me for
glad
not.
it. I'm so
Please.
glad it was you who called, because honestly, the other ones are just they talk in circles.
Yes, I try to avoid that and get straight to the point.
Mhm.
The point being, if we can continue.
Right. Sorry, I was thinking back on Camarilla kindred. Anyway.
Hmm.
Damn, I mean, has a lot changed in the city in the past few years, you know? Where do you guys hang these days?
Do you still have all the same members of that council?
We've had some changes. I'm sure you've heard.
No, that's why we're here to talk to you.
Oh, an awful blow from the SI. We are still reinventing ourselves from such a terrible strike.
The shadows kind of encroach a little bit more again.
Right. Yeah, the terrible strike. Oof. I heard about that. Heard about you working together with the Anarchs, though. What a nice move of you to do. Really.
Very sweet. It means you can change. I didn't think that was possible for you.
I'm sorry, where are my manners? Sky puts out like a fist to do a fist bump, and she says, "My name is Sky."
Nice to meet you, Sky. And you?
Quinn, my name's Quinn, and you would be? And like Quinn holds out a hand.
Just ignoring both of them, hands clasped at their sides. Marius Weiss.
Marius?
We
And like Quinn's like hand flapping at Sky.
Oh. You have
We
some good friends, don't you?
Oh,
I don't know what you mean.
It would be hurt to hear that from you.
Lashel is rather sensitive.
Oh, those friends.
Oh wait,
Feel like
is your dog not allowed to know you have friends like that, or?
No, please, I'm an open book.
Oh, so
yeah.
he also knows about Junebug and all that. Oh, good. What do you think of them? Do I need to wave a biscuit under your nose for you to speak, or?
He'll look to Marius.
It's not one of his list of tricks, I'm afraid. But if you're going to threaten me directly, please be a little bit more descriptive, so I know exactly how to retaliate.
Retaliation? No. What is the word? Partnership? No. Asset? No. Help you, help us, help you.
Continue.
I'm so happy that you're so willing to hear us out, you know? It's so rare that we get to have a conversation with Camarilla Kindred, you know? Often it turns into screaming, blood, lots of things. But yeah, great, actually. So I mean, it's kind of rude that your dog still hasn't said his name, but whatever, I guess we can deal with it. We only need one of you to speak really and to understand what we're saying.
When you say that Vern hasn't said his name, Priscilla comes right up to Vern and sort of places both her arms on his shoulders and smells behind his head. And she says, "Oh, the only name he's thinking is Diana. Can't get it out of his head. It's crazy."
Is that why you picked this song? Is that why? You know?
Obviously.
No. Yeah, no, it's so catchy. It's been stuck in my head the whole time.
And
Alright.
she is so dirty.
Touch me again and I'll fucking eat you.
Try it.
What, you think I don't got the fucking guns to take every single
we
one of you
not?
fucking scumbags?
You'd have to be let off
Again.
your leash.
We
Too
could
stretched.
wait for other Camarilla Kindred to come by.
No, this
No.
is between you and you and you and I.
Oh, I guess. Well, you can help us look for some people that we're looking for within your little tower. Sounds good, right?
Yes. And who are you looking for?
Sounds great. So, we're looking for some people that. I mean, one of them supposedly fled the city, but obviously that's not true from whatever we've heard so far. So,
Everybody's
also-
had a different story. It's been.
you can't tell me that shitface would leave his city like this. I'm sure he's hiding somewhere.
Unless Quentin was in on. But that's a whole other conversation. So, yes, Quentin King. Sorry. It's been a
Might have
long.
heard of him.
Yeah.
The third. Very
Oh.
important third.
And am I sending a message, an actual message, not a bloody message?
Oh, you think? No, silly. No, we just need to know where he is. And you just need to, give us the address, make sure that we have a meeting point where we can find him. That kind of thing. I'm not gonna say you need to deliver him to our doorstep because we don't have a doorstep. But yeah.
Well, we
So-
did, but then the cow thought it's fine.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure you've also heard that he hasn't fled the city, right? Supposed beckoning.
well, I have my own set of tasks, duties, etc. A clan whip, if it's not obvious. I feel like perhaps we can come to an agreement. You can take your calling card with you, and I'll see what I can do in terms of Mr. Quentin.
Okay, great. So that's the first thing you'll do for us. And then the second thing you'll do for us is find another one of your kindred. See, some of them have been very naughty, and can't just let them run around doing those kind of things, right? You are the good guys, right? You're all about keeping, like, people good, and if they do nasty business, you want them to be punished for it, right? You're the good guys.
Yes.
So
Continue,
you might have heard about an absolute dick called Richard Dunham. Ring any bells? Malkavian primogen, like torturing people, experimenting on them, doing all kinds of stuff behind the backs of other kindred in the tower, and yet they keep him in the tower at a very important place.
Quinn's gonna reach out and put a hand on Sky's back and just like small soothing circles.
The moment you do that, actually, she like flinches away. Right. Probably rings a bell. It has to ring a bell, right?
Storytellers are ringing any bell?
Yes, you know Richard Dunham to be the Malkavian primogen, has been for a very long time. He is a survivor of both the first attack of the Second Inquisition here in Boston, when they first attacked, and he survived the assault on the Red Salon, which was the hub of the circulatory system. He survived both of those, somehow. Whether that's sus or not is up to you.
It sounds like old Ricky really rung your bell there.
Watch your tongue, dog.
You heard of him, right?
Yes.
Great. Then you must agree that you also get us information on where he is. And basically, just do what friends do, you tell us where he is, maybe like even a specific moment when he's going to be somewhere specific, like keep it obviously, because you're friends with us, you're going to only tell us, you're not going to tell anyone else, and then we'll just take care of our business and be on our way, because that's what we'll do when you deliver the two people to us. We'll leave your city be. I don't care about Boston.
Now, I'm so glad that you laid everything out for me, bulleted list. I do enjoy that. But what I'm trying to connect here is, how am I going to communicate with any of you?
You could tell us your haven. We could find you.
Also, you could use I know it's against your strict whatever. It's phone. You could call, letter. You could write. You could go talk to one of our very
What a
many
coincidence!
friends
I just picked up a phone today.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Look, now you just have to realize that everything is a lie, and we can work from there.
Wonderful. I think this has been a very productive meeting between two sects that normally tear each other to shreds.
No, that was not the point of this. No, the tearing happens if we don't get them. Because we are going to get him, and he will pay for everything he's done.
Of course.
Don't wait too long doing your investigation. I'm sure you want to find out just why we want him and what's the things that he done and stuff. Don't waste so much fucking time on it. The more time you waste on it, the more we'll have to, I guess, call others of your tower until someone does what we want them to do. Or until, I guess, eventually we have to do it ourselves.
I don't want to have to do it ourselves. You already made a fuss about this little mess. This is nothing.
Well, your threats have been heard. Luckily, that's all you have to say. I am a person of the highest efficiency.
That's all we have? Really? That's all? I was
I was expecting some pushback or something along those lines, but so you're just going to hand over your Primogen, and
You don't want like a souvenir or anything? Like, no, just this is like, hi, goodbye.
No, this
You're
is
gonna do this?
more than enough for me.
because you know what he did already. Yes.
No, please. I love exposition.
I'm still
was a
trying to find your angle on this because you are very endearing, honestly. A little condescending, but endearing.
It runs in my blood.
Another joke.
Now, if you want, I could possibly turn your blood into nothing. I could use Vern to attack you and take your head home. I could
Try it,
possibly...
sunburnship.
I wouldn't really scale that as a threat or an insult, but is that what you wanted? I'm just accepting and just wanting to move this for the sake of expediency.
Efficiency. Yes, you said so.
Yeah, expediency, different word, dear. But your English is very good.
It fails the condescension.
Priscilla looks downright dejected. Man, they must have really just ripped the ambition and souls out of these Kindred Second Inquisition. I mean, why wouldn't you just kill them all? Run and hide.
Or maybe the Primogen actually has something on all of them. I don't know.
Maybe. But, yeah, you know, if you don't do what we want, or what Sky wants, and you watch Priscilla look at Sky with this huge grin, and Quinn sort of mirrors it as well when Priscilla does it. And can I get a wits and a cult both from my non-sabbat kindred real quick? I need to know how much you know what the vinculum is.
You said what's it called?
Wits a cult.
All right.
Again, 3 dice, 3 successes. I don't know.
That
what my
luck's
dice
not gonna last.
No.
That ain't gonna last, bro.
Okay, I have all the bad luck.
Sure, blood
You're
rolled
stealing
them
all
now.
the luck from Vin, you ass.
I know. I'm such a dick.
One success.
Yeah. Marius, you're really annoyed. You're concerned. They knew Lasher's name and Junebug's name. They seem to know too much about your life. Or unlife, rather. Everything here is very concerning. Vern, again, you're an older kindred. Yeah, the way that they're looking at Sky, you would put together that Sky is their leader. You think you've heard them called a pack priest before? And they are bonded to her, and likely to each other. That's how the Sabbat sort of work. They are loyal to each other to a fault.
I think that's target acquired for Vern. He'll just settle in.
Great. So, I know that your sire is up in their little circle, so I'm sure it's gonna be no problem to get us Richard, because, you know, sharing circles and all of that. So, I'm guessing you just, you know, we'll give you a little bit of time for Quentin. And, I mean, you'll see the sign when we've had it.
Understood.
If you need help, he's probably setting up his business again. If you haven't, that would be what I would do. But he's a man, so
Yes. So, I'm sure we all have very busy lives we like to get back to.
All right, so you have struck a chord with the Sabbat, and as Quinn, Sky, and Priscilla sort of begin to leave the area, Priscilla starts singing as they walk through the tunnels, starts singing, or saying a strange tune. She starts saying, I'm in the garden, as that gets farther and farther away. It starts echoing through. Peaches, however, hangs back just a little bit, climbs down off of the car. She looks at you, Marius, and she says, If you want to get a message to Sky, and you better make it quick, give a message to Ceres. I assume, based on your association, you know who that is.
I will get acquainted as soon as possible.
I'll take care of this, don't worry. And she sort of raises her arms, and that horrible sound of the rats, and Quinn and Sky and Priscilla sort of have to step up and away out of the tunnel over to the sort of the side of the utility there. Look out for the third rail, don't step on that. And the rats flood the tunnel and flood into the station and begin consuming this body and licking away the symbol of the Sword of Cain.
Oh, wasn't that effective?
I like to think so.
Vern, let's go.
And Vern will side up with Marius and head out.
If possible, I would like to take an alternative route. Like maybe
I was
go
about
further
to say,
down to like
how
yeah.
are you leaving? Because if you leave right out the entrance, then you are going to have a bad time.
Yeah, no, yeah. We're going just walking.
So you're going to walk to a further station. Walk
Yes.
down. All right. Now let me ask you a very important question. Are you walking to the station that would be closest to getting you to the south end of Boston, where the secret garden is?
You know, that seems like a very fun intersection to take.
Yeah.
I think I will.
Okay.
I think Vern will just kind of look over. What she was saying when they were leaving. It's from a movie. Came out in '93. It's called The Secret Garden. Dame Maggie Smith. It's a good flick.
Yes, the reference was lost on me.
All right. Why didn't we just kill those fucking people?
We were outnumbered. I know there's two of us, but in terms of strength, it's only one of you. And you are better alive to me. No one just throws away their tools because it's useful.
I hear you. I still could have taken at least one of them before we got out.
No, we don't need any more messes. At least they're
going
us.
to keep shitting the bed, Marius.
I'm aware. And at least we can bolster our strength for next time.
You want me to tell Delson about this or not?
Give me a night so I can think about it. Or at least talk to my sire.
Yeah. He's gonna get a hard on for this. He loves killing the fucking sabbat so that Iverson will fucking dote on him.
Oh, at least you have everyone in mind.
Yeah. You okay?
I'm fine. I'm great even. No blood on my sleeves, none on my shoes. All things considered, great night.
Yeah.
Now the question becomes, as you approach the station to get on the T to take you to the secret garden in Southie, is Vern, are you going with Marius?
I was never bid to do otherwise, so yeah.
Marius, how do you feel about that?
It's my fault for not saying so. So while they're on the train, Vern, I think I'm going to take the rest of the night off. You can go back to the tower, or at least north side.
Look, I don't know what you think you have to hide from me, but I'm not.
This
gonna do anything
isn't
about shit.
a request. This is an order.
All right.
Thank you. You know, that's my favorite thing about you. You listen.
Well, I know you wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. I don't
Exactly.
appreciate that you're hiding something from me when you know you don't have to, but whatever.
Oh, well, it is in the name.
Yeah. Except they made a movie about it and put it on the big screen in front of, millions of people, but sure. Look,
Well,
I can't leave you in good conscience, but I will stay far enough away that it's not a problem. Deal?
deal.
You know I don't have the bat ears. I can't listen in. I don't want to know what the fuck you're doing.
And don't.
Also, please
So
don't
much.
get that phone out in front of me again if one of them
Oh
starts.
my goodness.
It's
It
not.
wasn't even intentional.
Listen, I don't care, but they can. You know what people can make me do, and I don't want to do it, but it happens.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to help in the only way I know how.
Politely threatening me. Okay, understood.
I really didn't mean it that way.
I know. It's okay. You're just trying to keep me out of trouble.
Yeah, and if they look through my memories again, I can't really do anything about it.
I'll work on it.
All right. Just, I don't know. Give me a sign when you're leaving and then I'll bail.
Okay.
I'll at least follow you back to the train, but then I'll walk the rest of the way.
And with that uncomfortable conversation about Vern's stalking ability, we're gonna take a quick pause here before we go to the Secret Garden. The two of you are getting off of the T stop to South Boston, and it's a very short walk. Now, you asked Vern not to come with you to the Secret Garden, but Vern is pretty insistent about at least keeping an eye on you until you head back to your sire for the evening. So, Marius, as you head down the cobblestone streets of South Boston towards the Secret Garden, Vern, where do you go? Do you head around the back of the building? Do you just stay a significant distance away?
As we move through Southie, Vern is staying like 3/4 of a block behind him and the block across the street.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as Marius goes into the building, he's gonna move around the side into the alley.
Perfect. All right.
Right by the kind of like staff entry exit.
Perfect.
kind of
As soon as you get back there, you see that there is a significant amount of unhoused people, or at least people who are, let's say, down on their luck, who are receiving a bunch of baked goods from someone who looks like something right out of like a fairy tale or a picture book for kids. She has very short, curly blonde hair, and she's wearing a little beret. And she's dressed very, very nicely, almost maybe a little juvenile, you might say, and definitely not warm enough for the weather. And she's currently handing out baked goods. Marius. Approach the Secret Garden. Its exterior is deep blue, and it has a bunch of sort of vintage-style lanterns that hang over the sign that says the Secret Garden. And a brass sign right by the door as you walk in says, "For those who find inspiration under moonlight," and you know that is something that Junebug installed there, because she is very whimsical in nature. Upon entering, the interior is lit by clusters of Edison bulbs and soft recessed lighting that highlights the paintings, sculptures, and mixed media installations that line the walls. You know the artwork rotates monthly, featuring the mysterious local artist known only as Lasher, whose work explores themes of dreams, darkness, and nocturnal beauty. There's dark hardwood floors and exposed brick walls that give the space sort of like a historic charm. There's sleek black tables, velvet armchairs in jewel tones, and a grand piano that sits in one corner, which you have never seen played personally. The cafe menu is as unconventional as the hours of the secret garden. Baristas serve craft coffee brewed with single origin beans alongside an assortment of herbal teas, spiced hot chocolate, and unique offerings like midnight lavender lattes and charcoal chai. Of course, Junebug comes up with those names, although she can't drink them herself. For the adventurous, there's a curated wine and cocktail list, including the Nocturne Negroni and a velvety red called Painter's Muse. The space encourages solitude and quiet conversation. You see that there's a few artists in here sketching in notebooks under the lamps. A couple of writers seem to be hunched over laptops or journals. And a few night owls chat softly over some mugs of coffee. You don't see Junebug or Lasher anywhere down here. However, that's not unusual, at least for Lasher, who prefers to remain in the upstairs apartment. But Marius, you give me a wits and awareness real quick.
Okay, let's see. I got my wits, and where's my awareness? 1, 2. I hate to use my other vampire dice since they fucked me all night.
We'll get to that.
All my dice hate me. That is a 2 successes.
2 is enough. That is all I was looking for. You notice that it's still fairly early in the night. There's no reason, and again, this is a nocturnal gallery cafe, so you don't think that the baked goods should be gone already. You don't even see anybody in here eating any baked goods, but the baked goods seems to have been cleared out. And with 2 successes, you can make an educated guess that Junebug is doing what Junebug loves to do, and that is feeding the needy who come to the side door.
I see. I'm just as casually going to walk behind the bar into the kitchen to the back door so I can see Mother Teresa.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So outside, Vern, this is what you come upon. You see a lot of people who, are down on their luck or don't have anywhere else to go. And you see this young woman handing out croissants and cinnamon rolls and all sorts of baked goods. And she sees you and she says, "I've never seen you before. Are you hungry?"
No, I'm not hungry. Thanks, though.
Oh, okay. Well, what are you doing here? If you're cold, you can go inside. It's okay. You don't have to buy anything.
I don't think we get cold, sister.
Oh. And Marius, this is the scene you come upon of Junebug talking to Vern.
Oh, hey. Oh.
Sorry.
Hey.
I didn't think anybody'd be out here. My bad.
There's I think I spilled something. Maybe the lavender powder or something. If I can, know where the mop is.
Junebug, with her 1 dot in wits, turns around and just says, "Mari!" And she drops the tray to the side and she runs over and she jumps into your arms.
Yeah, I'm excited to clean too, and kind of carousel her back into the building.
What are you talking about? I didn't think you were going to come tonight. You said that you had things that you had to do at the tower.
I did, and they drug me out, and that is one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't really want to bring him out here, but it sort of happened. How are you? Why are you out there by yourself?
I'm not by myself. Lasher's upstairs, and I was just... I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this, Mari. I can't do this.
Okay, can't do. What are you? We can walk and talk. What are you talking about? Come on.
No. And she walks over to the door and she sort of grabs onto you, Vern, and pulls you in. Please, I really would love to meet some of Mari's friends.
I'm not a friend, I'm more of a pet.
That's... what?
Metaphorically speaking, co-workers, gophers, kick down the hallway. You two can get acquainted. I'm just going to go upstairs. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Just
okay.
exits.
You're going to head to the apartment upstairs?
Mhm.
I'm sorry about all that. I'm not good like Mari. I can't do the like undercover thing and lie. I'm really bad at lying.
Okay. Look, you don't have to do the usual song and dance. It's fine.
What song and dance?
Exactly.
Oh, you're what? And she turns around and she sort of places the tray outside and she says, just help yourself. And she closes the door. And then she bends down and puts the tray outside. Her beret slips back over her head a little bit and she pulls it down and you see that she has a third eye.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Look, little tip from an old guy. You shouldn't just leave the tray out for them like that. They'll fight over it.
Oh, they know that they can just come back and get more. There's nothing to fight over.
I know that you know that. But they don't.
I'm sorry, did I ask your name?
No.
I'm Junebug. And she holds out a hand.
And Vern, with his Camarilla Ankh in hand, will shake her hand.
You feel that her hand is warm. She's activated Blush of Life, even just to be around people who really want nothing more than just a kind word and some food from her.
You really give a shit about him, huh? It's not just to make you feel better.
I do.
I got somebody like that too. Just one. And we can't all be Mother Teresa, can we?
Mother Teresa actually wasn't a very good person. I really hate when Mari calls me that.
I didn't know she called you that, but that's good to know.
I just assume your coworkers, you just talk about everything. I talk about everything with, well, I guess Lasher's not really my coworker. He's both.
I don't really talk.
You kind of remind me of Lasher a little bit. I think I made Mari mad. I really should go check on her.
No, I made Marius uncomfortable. It's my fault.
Well, we should definitely go apologize.
I think I'm just gonna go back outside if that's cool.
No, it's cold. It's really nice in here, and like I said, I'd love to meet some of Mari's coworkers, and Blasher would love to meet them too, I'm sure. Please, let me take you upstairs.
This is a bad idea, and I need you to know it's a bad idea before you continue.
Yeah, it's funny. Mari says that to me a lot. But I'm still here, and I still do what I do, and Lasher protects me, and Mari protects me. So I can do good things.
You're gonna have to figure out how to protect yourself sometime, kid.
Not tonight.
How long have you been like us?
It's like 2006? I met Mari in college.
So you knew them before you changed?
Not exactly. I knew Mari before he changed, but I was sort of pretending to be a student. I was already like this.
It's a dangerous game to play.
I'm really young, and it's easy to blend in, and I didn't have anyone protecting me yet. And that's how I met Mari, and later Mari met Lasher, and we just sort of all,
I don't know. No.
Oh, that's really sad.
No, I really don't get what you're saying to me.
Let's go make sure that Mari isn't throwing anything in the apartment, because When Mari does that, then something's really wrong.
All right.
And she leads you up to a spiral staircase. Of course, the same spiral staircase that you just took, Marius. And it's sort of hidden. It's accessible via a private staircase that's hidden behind one of the paintings here. That doesn't change. And it's interesting, Marius, as you head up the spiral staircase. Always when you head up to the apartment, it feels like a natural extension of the Secret Garden because it's so artistically charmed because of Lasher. That's sort of his whole bag. You enter in and the space opens up into a wide loft-like layout with tall arched windows, midnight blue curtains. However, the kitchen hasn't changed at all, Marius, since the last time you were here, which wasn't that long ago. It's, of course, mostly gutted, save for a large stainless steel refrigerator. And the open shelves hold mismatched ceramics, jars of what looks like rotting flesh, and what's new, however, is a mannequin's head that's right in the middle of the small island here, and it's covered in both old and new skin, and bits of blood and gore are covering nearly every surface of the dark cabinetry that remains at the moment. But as you look at that and turn, you see a tall, thin man with long blonde hair, which of course you know is Lasher, one of your partners. And he's speaking with someone that you've never formally met, but you have seen her before, a young woman you know only as Saris. She is the coterie mate of Lasher and Junebug. Her hair and eyes are dark, and she stands a full foot shorter than Lasher, but she holds herself with great confidence as she stares up at him under those equally dark and thick eyebrows. A mischievous curled smile to her face, and when she sees you enter, she adjusts her black necktie and pulls her fur-lined winter coat closer around her tiny frame. And Lasher hears you enter as well, and he immediately goes over to you and kisses you on the cheek, and as he does so, he whispers and he says, "We need to talk when she's gone."
Of course. Hi. Sarah, Silas. I'm sorry. I'm so bad with names.
It's all right. My name is Saris.
Sarah. I was so close.
You were.
Do you mind if I steal our little artist for a second?
Certainly. Is it a private conversation?
More of a private action, if you know what I mean.
Unfortunately. Yes, well, I'll just head out and head down to the cafe and see if anyone catches my eye for such a private action.
Of course, and I apologize if things kind of bleed through the floors. The building's old, so we haven't really had time to renovate. I'm sure we can call it performance art.
Sounds
Right,
like
dear.
sounds like a you problem.
Mhm.
She leaves the staircase, and Lasher sort of grabs onto you and pulls you into a hug.
Whoa. What a night. What a night.
Marius.
Why was she here?
She was here because we had guests. Visitors came from the Sword of Cain.
Yes, I had an audience with them in the subway.
They asked many questions about you specifically. They gave us veiled threats of what they would do to this place, to me, to Junie, if we did not come to some sort of understanding that we must convince the Camarilla vampires that we know to do whatever it is that they want to do.
Well, those are just empty fucking words because I'm going to take care of it. But speaking of Junie, why is she out there alone by herself?
She's not down in the cafe.
She was outside, being her.
I can't spend all my time staring at her. I like to look at her,
No.
obviously, but I also
No.
have other pursuits that I am attempting to do.
It's going to take both of us to rein her in. And I don't want anyone taking advantage of my weaknesses, because you both are the world to me.
Marius, I know. You mean everything to us. We've been together longer than anyone really understands or knows, I assume, in your world.
They don't.
You saved
that's
us. You sent us away when the SI came.
I did.
We would never betray you. We'd never leave you. But Saris, I get the bad feeling that she is more interested in these new, what did they call themselves? Canites. She is much more interested in them than she should be.
I'll look into her as well. I can't necessarily pull anyone off the chessboard at the moment, seeing that we are playing with limited pieces.
She says she'll like their swagger.
Who says swagger?
I think she's older than she told us.
Yes, I haven't. That's a completely different conversation. On the topic, I did have an associate run across Junie, so we will have to deal with that as well.
Well, I would like to speak to Junie, because she knows that she is not allowed to leave the cafe if I am not down there.
Don't be too hard on her, because she'll...
Well, someone
I won't
must.
upset her.
Because if I am not spending my time watching and making sure that she is not running off to give organs that she cannot donate to people dying, then I have to also protect her from Baron Thane, who wants things from her that she is not willing to give. And she does not understand the politics that we must live under.
What does he want?
He wants her services as a healer. But he wants them to heal his own kindred, and you know how she feels about that. It is not kindred that she cares for, it is for the mortals.
All the more reason to keep her inside. We should probably meet them before they come up. You have a lot going on over there.
Yes, I saw it, my masterpiece. It came to me when I was painting, and I know if I just get enough different pounds of flesh, I can make what I need. But I need to practice on the head first before I find the perfect conduit.
You are something amazing.
Only because you see me so.
Oh, don't do that. That's so unbecoming. And are they like drifting towards the door?
Yes.
To go back downstairs.
Yeah, so let's get down there. Junie is leading you up the spiral staircase, Junebug, Vern, and everything in you screams that you should just leave. And you've tried to tell Junie that you should leave. And you do eventually break away from her hand. It's giving you a bad feeling heading up here. You're not supposed to be here. Marius didn't want you in here. You weren't attempting to break any rules. Rules, not rules as written, but rules binding contracts between the people you work with. And so you just start racing down the stairs. You need to get outside. Also, you feel a little claustrophobic in here. It's a very tight space to be crawling up to an apartment. So you race and head outside, and you hear that there are footsteps chasing after you. You assume that it's Junebug. Do you turn at any point, or do you wait till you get outside?
He'll wait until he gets outside, and then he'll duck around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Person who was chasing after you left the establishment and has continued to follow you.
I think as they get close to the corner, I think Vern's just gonna step out and body check them and be like, I needed to get out. Like that expression of like, hey, you're getting too close. That using his body to assert physical space.
Before you can body check them, as you open your mouth to say, hey, I just needed to get out, you hear something like a mental knock at your door. It's strange, like someone knocking at the door of your mind. And you hear a voice that you haven't heard in quite a long time. It's Diana. And she says, well, hey, Daddy-o.
I think he physically looks around for a moment.
Yeah, you look around, you turn around, and she's standing right there. She's wearing a black necktie, black button-up, black winter coat. She still has that dark hair, those dark eyebrows.
Di, what are you doing here?
This is kind of my turf. What the hell are you doing here? This ain't tower territory.
No, it's not. Just looking out for a friend.
Is your friend a Tremere?
Why are you here, Di?
You
didn't tell me you were in town.
Well, I never left town. You just forgot about me.
I looked for you.
Not hard enough. Not anywhere farther than your leash could take you.
What do you want me to do? What did you think? I was going to give up everything?
I had to.
You didn't. I told you that I would protect you. I keep my word.
I have a question that's still unanswered. Is your friend a Tremere?
That's not important.
It's actually the only important thing happening in this conversation.
No, I think the important thing is that some fucking sabbat knew enough about me to know about you.
I wonder how that would have happened.
Di, don't go down that road.
The name's Saris.
Sorry. I didn't know.
You wouldn't, would you? Because if Jara didn't send you where you needed to go, you aren't going.
Jara looked out for me. Don't bring her into this.
And all she had to do was whistle, and you'd stand at attention by her side.
Like I didn't also look after you until you fucking ran.
I know you think that that's true.
I'm sorry. What did you want me to give you, Saris? Did you want me to let you bleed to death in an alley? What did you want? Because none of us get some fucking happy fucking Gilmore Girls episode of a fucking unlife.
Why don't you ask Junebug about that? It's too late, Vern, for you to attempt to pass on wisdom to me now. You made me. You panicked. You ran to Jara. Fill in the blanks of that broken mind of yours.
I didn't panic. I knew what I was doing.
Oh, yeah. Surely.
What, you think I wouldn't have...
Anyway, you're distracting me from what shit I have to take care of. And I'm taking your silence on the topic of whether or not Marius is your friend as truth. Because you're a terrible fucking liar, Vern. I'll be, if I do ever need you for anything, I know how to get in contact with you. And she says again in your mind, Toodles. And so
Take care of yourself.
So you look down and look up. You see her absorbing into the shadows of the alley.
Fuck.
Marius and Lasher head down the stairway, and Junebug is sort of in the middle of the stairway looking down. I was bringing your coworker upstairs to apologize. Mari, I'm sorry.
No, there's no need to apologize. Vern is very prickly and flighty and just not the best to be bringing anywhere near here.
He doesn't seem all that bad. He just seems sad.
Oh yes, that is his middle name if he can afford to have a middle name.
I don't get that joke.
Don't worry, it was demeaning. How are you, darling?
I feel like I messed up. I feel like I did something.
If anyone, it was me, because I decided to take his word for it and let him come this far when I should have kind of ditched or something. It's fine. I'm just happy to see both of you.
Mari gets immediately a smile on her face when you say that, and she comes over and she kisses you. And Lasher is sort of standing above both of you, and he's already tall anyway, and his arms are crossed. He's like, well, I'm not happy at all. This is not happy reunion time for me. Junebug, you cannot be outside when I'm not here, when there's no one here to protect you, and we should not be bringing a lot of Camarilla hanging around the secret garden. Please, I and he starts getting all flustered.
They break at that point. I promise that will never happen again.
I mean, I at least need to know that these people can be trusted. I don't know who I don't even know his name.
His name is Vern. That answers your question. If anything, he listens to me, and that will be the end of that.
Well, he didn't. He came anyway, didn't he?
One time, just one bad instance. We just had a very terse conversation. Some fucking sabbat. So of course he's gonna be on edge. I can forgive that.
Okay, and I can understand that.
There we go. You're not peckish, are you?
No, Junie and I both fed when we got up.
Okay, then. I can... No, please.
Mario, are you going to stay here? Are you not going back to the college with Jean? You're gonna stay, no?
Oh no, I have to go. I have to report back, and we can get this taken care of.
All right, but you can keep in touch. I know you with the phones and things get bad. I understand, but you can have a secret phone.
It's so interesting. I got a phone tonight.
Good.
Just picked one up right off the street.
You put our numbers in there, and at least so we can know that you're okay. And if this Vern is going to help with this sabbat problem, then he is okay. He can come. He can come around. But only because you say so.
Well, I didn't say that, but I'm so glad he's welcome. Second, I won't be putting your numbers in because that is just a whole nother paper trail I do not feel like having, so I will just call the landline at the garden.
Yeah, it feels much easier to be anarch, does it not sometimes, Mari?
Yes, but this is my lot in life. I have a lot to do, and one day I will be able to come in and have a great night with both of you.
All right, go find your friend, I guess. I will keep Junebug upstairs. The baristas can handle the floor for the rest of the night.
Okay. Is that okay, Rapunzel?
Junebug looks a little bit despondent. I mean, yeah. I don't know why you have to go. It's winter time, so it's a lot of more dark times. You could spend more time with us, but it's fine, I guess.
Well, I will come under not so much duress next time, and you guys can catch me up on everything. I would love to see some work around here. I see that they're changing, and I think that's really cool. I hadn't really been able to touch a canvas in, I don't know how long.
We could do that thing again where, we all covered ourselves in paint and we made that painting, remember? I keep telling Lasher to hang it up, but he doesn't want to. He's so shy about it.
I think next time we don't pick complementary colors, we should probably we should adjust the color wheel, then try that again.
And Lasher sort of holds his arm out. See, it is not because I'm shy or a prude. I think it does not look appropriate for everyone.
It's just bad colors. There's no such thing as bad art. Come on.
No, and we could be a little bit more vigorous. We could spread it out a little bit more. We'll talk. We'll talk after this. We'll talk.
Okay. I love you, both of you.
They respond in kind. Both of them give you a kiss. They sort of just stand there awkwardly on the staircase, and Lasher eventually encourages Junebug to head upstairs before they close the door to the apartment.
And he kind of just sits in the stairwell a bit, kind of weighing the options. Maybe she could go up for a little bit, but then there's everything else that has to be done. So eventually duty wins and he heads on out.
Vern, spoke with Diana, calling herself Saris now. She's saying things to you that don't make sense. She's saying that you panicked and went to Jara. I don't remember doing that. She's saying she feels essentially abandoned by you, but no, you were there for her and she took off. You're sitting there in these memories and emotions that you don't understand why you're feeling them or not feeling them, whichever one happens to be. Where are you? What is going on with Vern right now before Marius runs into him?
I think Vern is just leaned up against the edge of the building, smoking a cigarette, trying to put the pieces together to less than minimal success.
And with no dots in dominate, I don't believe.
No.
And what's your dots and wits? Is it 1?
2.
2? Yeah, really no role you could make me to try and figure that out. Might have to ask some other people that you know.
Yeah.
But Marius, you come across Vern leaned up against the building. He's alone. The unhoused people who have come here for the baked goods have sort of dispersed, and there's no one out here but you and the dog.
They are immediately walking and talking. This is not happening again. You forget where this building ever was, and you forget their fucking names. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. I know you are so good, Vern. I really appreciate it. We're going back. We're going to report. I'm going to report. And this night is over.
Can I say something?
No.
All right.
Again, that's why I like you. You fucking listen.
Somebody's got to.
And as the two of you head back to 200 Clarendon in silence, Marius doesn't want to hear what you have to say. And Vern, you're now sitting with feelings and revelations that you don't necessarily understand. That is where we are going to end. Prologue 1, ease the tension for this evening. Thank you, everyone. And to the Sabbat, thank you as well.